read Kate's body language and was playing along. Indeed, Elise's wail rose. "I didn't kill her," the man above Kate snarled, but there was a hint of horror in his tone. Warm fingers touched her neck. Kate attempted not to flinch, or shiver, or sigh. His touch shot through her like lightning. "Nah, she's alive. She's fainted." The other man snorted and muttered, "Women." His imprecation was followed by a thud and a low bellow. Satisfaction snaked through Kate. Elise was known to gouge men in tender places when they said such things. Kate moaned suddenly in order to keep her lips from curling into a smile, but that only made the behemoth pin his attention to her once again. His heat touched her as he leaned close, and with it, his scent. It curled through her. Something clenched deep inside her. Kate had never cared for the scent of men. All the men she'd ever met stank of whiskey and sweat. Not this man. There was something musky about his fragrance, something alluring and pleasant. She had the urge to take a deeper whiff, to edge closer, to see if he tasted delicious too. This annoyed her tremendously. She didn't want to be tempted or distracted, not in the least, certainly not in this situation. She lurched up into a sitting position, which was a complete and utter mistake, because the man was hovering over her. She found them chest to chest, forehead to forehead, and a sharp pain reverberated through her as their heads connected with a thunk. They cried out in tandem and he lurched back. Her eyes opened of their own accord, and to her horror, she found herself staring once again into his wolfish eyes. She was not prepared for the bolt of awareness and attraction that whipped through her body. It was followed quickly by a shard of unwelcome arousal as she took in his handsome features. His high brow, straight nose, perfect lips, the gold-hued bristles on his square jaw, the aggravating curl of glossy blonde hair that flopped over one eye. Why did he have to be so beautiful? "Are you all right?" he asked, rubbing the red spot on his forehead. Her heart skittered at the tender thread in his voice. But he was not a tender man. He couldn't be. Such a creature existed only in fairy tales, little girls' dreams, lies. Men were brutal and careless with women. She had never in her life met one who was not. "Unhand me," she demanded, although he was not touching her. At least not with his hands, though his intent focus on her made her feel confined. For good measure, she scuttled away from him. She ignored the flash of remorse on his face and looked at Elise to make sure she was all right. They exchanged a glance, an understanding. They both knew what had to be done. Kate stood slowly and brushed down her skirts. Beneath them, both she and Elise wore purloined breeches. They thought they might cut their hair and travel as men if necessary. Now Kate wished they had done so from the start. In a casual motion, she surreptitiously made sure her knife was still in her pocket. She felt much better when her fingers wrapped around its weight. The behemoth stood as well. Kate shot him a glare and then flinched as she realized exactly how tall he was. Good God. There was no reason for her to lose her senses. Because he was beautiful. Because he was tall. Because his shoulders were broad and his muscles thick and bulging. He was her enemy. Every man was. "Lass, are you all right? Did I hurt you?" Her mouth opened and closed, but she had no response at the ready. Not even for so simple a query. Not when faced with that rueful expression. "I think she's dazed," his companion offered. "You knocked her askew." The beautiful man raked his hair and blew out a breath. "I didn't hit her that hard." He had. "I thought she was a thief." She had been. "She needs to sit. She's shaken." With surprise, Kate realized she was shaken. How odd. She never shook. She always had control of her reactions. It was a necessity. Growing up in Killin Keep, she'd quickly learned to never let anyone sense weakness.